I never doubted him, did I? Never, ever, ever doubted him. Andoni Iraola is taking us on a European tour. Um, well, I'll be honest, hands up. I did, after that Everton game, I made a video. I spoke to Square Bull, mentioned Jesse Marsh. Yes, yes, do take as much of the piss as you want. But, at that point, I was just like, I didn't know where we was going to go. However, full credit to Richard Hughes, Neil Blake, Bill Foley for persisting with this, because what we're now seeing is the absolute rewards. I tell you what, that was outstanding today. Earlier on in the week was outstanding. That win against Crystal Palace, bloody brilliant. Absolutely bloody brilliant. 2 wins on the trot. That result against Crystal Palace, firstly, was just a fantastic performance all round. Some people said that it dropped off in the second half. I don't think it did. Don't think it did at all. I think that Iraola has got it now absolutely spot on the button. Everybody knows exactly how he wants this team to play. And, today was just the icing on the cake. What do what do you make? I thought, well, it would be nice to get a point from Manchester United. I think we might, potentially get a point. I think that Man United are probably the most misleading team in the whole of the Premier League, because I don't particularly think they're that great. Even though they've been in decent form, you've got to admit they have been in decent form, which makes it even better. And I've been watching, a couple of the Man United streams as well, just flicking through those. Mark Goldbridge, basically wanted to give us the 4th goal. He was just like, give him the goals. That's a VAR. I tell you what, absolutely delighted. The Man United fans blaming Erik Ten Hag, blaming like Shaw McTominay, but for God's sake, you've got to give credit to AFC Bournemouth here, because we absolutely wiped the floor with Manchester United today. Absolutely wiped the floor. It was 3-0. It should have been about 5. Maybe you could even make a question for 6 at Old Trafford. Really, it could have been 6-0. And, I'll go through each of these goals, because I tell you what a performance. What an absolutely outstanding performance. So, Solanke, after 5 minutes, and okay, Solanke's touch, past Anana was outstanding, tapping it round, with his foot. I don't really blame the Man United goalkeeper for that either. Before any Man United fans said, "Oh, no, give us some bloody credit." I tell you what, we were absolutely outstanding today. But look at what happened before that. Lewis Cook taking that ball off that man, running down the right wing, and that cross in was pinpoint perfect. It was fucking outstanding. I am sorry, but it was an outstanding cross into that box for Solanke to nestle home. Absolutely brilliant start to a football match. 1-0 up. Then, of course, Solanke has that shot that hits the bar. He had an Anna beaten. Again, not the Man United goalkeeper's fault. But, that ball went straight across. And I tell you what, another inch, that would have been nestling. That would have been 2-0 at half time. I think, he was unlucky. Very, very, very unlucky. Then, of course, the second half. Let's mention the second half. Phil Billings' goal. Again, another decent piece of play. Marcus Tavernier. I tell you what, he's signed from Middlesbrough. Of course, again, another player that we signed who had conflicting opinions. Semenyo's another one where people were saying, well, he'll only play some, well, at certain points, or he'll have one game on, one game off. I'm not seeing that now. I'm not seeing that. That cross to Billing's head. Billing headed it past Anana, 2-0. Billing, who knew it? The tallest man on the pitch has learned how to head a ball under Iraola. Out, a completely outstanding. And then to put the icing on the cake, Senesi again, another fantastic header. And uh, let's be honest. Mark Goldbridge was saying, "Give him the goal." It was a goal. It was 100% a goal. Ouattara did all that running through. He kept his balance. It hit him on the chest. His hands were here. It might have been in a bit of an unnatural position and nestled it in the back of the net. That should have been four. Should have been four. Plus, we've got to remember the number of chances that we had throughout that game. We were much the better side. Man United fans, we were much the better side. We were head and shoulders above Man United at Old Trafford today. You never, ever, ever did I imagine that we was going to go to Old Trafford and get, a 1-0 win. I would have been happy with that. But to win 3 fucking 0 against Manchester United at Old Trafford, when we started the season like we did, that Everton game feels like a completely different mile away. It's now looking, like Everton are actually a decent side. But I tell you what an absolutely brilliant performance. Keep in mind this Manchester United team. Everybody's Man United fans that was on Mark Goldbridge's channel, and he was spot on with what he said. You can't sack a manager. You can't sack Erik ten Hag after getting beat 3-0 by us because we were a better side. On the day we were outstanding. Iraola had done his homework. He got the tactics spot on, and we deserved those 3 points. We deserved it. No Man United fan is going to turn around and say we didn't deserve it. But I don't particularly think Man United were terrible. I just think we were better. I just think we were much better. Beat Chelsea midweek, for God's sake. That's no mean feat. Because Chelsea have been improving. They've been improving. But I tell you what, I'm completely lost for words. Completely lost for words. It's Man United and Erik ten Hag, of course, remember, won Manager of the Month. They won manager. He won Manager of the Month, and I think you know you don't win Manager of the Month by being shit. I think they're misleading as a football club at the moment, Man United, because I don't think they're particularly as strong. But I think he's got the results out of them. But today, you have to hold your hands up and say we were much, much better. Let's be fair. Bruno Fernandes, actually got a clearance out. It was honestly, what a brilliant performance by AFC Bournemouth. What an absolutely brilliant performance. It. Oh, honestly, I can't be happier. Luke Shaw, I think was not full. I don't think, like I say, you know, it's just one of those. It's one of those which, we were brilliant. If we carry on this form, Iriola is going to take us on a European tour. If he carries on this form, he is a completely different manager. I never doubted him. I did. But, forget about that now. It's not all about me. This, is something that we got to take into that Luton game. The games coming up: Luton, Fulham, Forest. We could. Well, I thought we was going to be battling relegation this season, but playing like that, and I can't see us getting beaten in the next three games. I can't see us getting beaten, and that's not me being disrespectful to our next three opponents. I just can't see it. I cannot see it. We are just that much better, just that much better than we have been, much better than Manchester United. You know, had we played like this against Manchester City, probably wouldn't have been 6-1, I can assure you that. But yeah, what an outstanding result, outstanding performance. You know, you could ask, well, what could you give? What's the who is the man of the match? I think, Solanke has to be man of the match for me. He was instrumental all game. Marcus Tavernier again, was the heartbeat. Lewis Cook for creating that first goal. Semenyo, complete pain in Man United's side. Again, he's a player signed from Bristol City. All these people as well saying, earlier on, saying Richard Hughes and, Neil Blake not doing the right things. Bollocks! You think we've signed some outstanding players. And remember, we've lost, the player who is, you know, thought to be the next big thing from injury. Alex Scott, Justin Kluivert, he's getting the best form out of Justin Kluivert that I think anybody has. Senesi is scoring. He's scored 2 in 2 games now. It's bloody brilliant. Zabania, again, he was great. I to be honest, it's such a long time ago. I'm sure he had an opportunity as well. Neto tipping it over. Honestly, this performance, we was miles better than Manchester United. Miles, miles, miles. And I tell you what, Iraola deserves every credit. I was wrong. I'm fucking happy that I was wrong. I'm absolutely delighted today. And who knows, where do we go next? Where do we go next? We've got Luton, Forest, Fulham. Win those three games. That's going to put us on 28 points. If we win those three games, we're basically at that stage, what you would say, 10 points away from surviving relegation. The 38 points is the golden number. I think it's going to be lower this season anyway, because I think, Sheffield United got a result today. Full credit to them, full credit to Chris Wilder. Burnley got a result today against Brighton. But do I think that those teams will be able to keep that up? I don't think so. I don't think Luton will be able to. Everton might be the one that, could, of course, march their way up the league. Let's be fair, they would be on 20 points if it wasn't for that points deduction. Nottingham Forest, I think, are the team who have got to start looking over their shoulder a little bit. And Steve Cooper, as have Crystal Palace. But I'll tell you what, absolutely outstanding. Keep this form up. We are going on a European tour. We'll go far this season. Like I say, when you get to, 28 points by the end of this year, I could never imagine that. If we can win the next three, which I would not put past this team playing like they are, 28 points by the start of next year, where could Iraola take us? Where could he take us? We'll be in the top half anyway if we do that. I'm sure of that. We'll be in the top half anyway. But can we push into those European spots? Could we do? We've got Basque manager. Unai Emery did it with Aston Villa, and look at what he did. He beat Manchester City, the other night. At this point in time when I'm recording this, because I'm absolutely so delighted and I think I might go and get some beers off the back of it, he is actually 1-0 up against Arsenal. You know, Honestly, this is outstanding. Full credit to Andoni Iraola. What a bloody good manager. I was completely wrong. I'm delighted to be wrong. Cherries fans, got to go and enjoy it. Commiserations, Man United fans, but don't keep saying, "Oh, it's all because of Man United." It's because we were better today. And to Mark Goldbridge, yes, it should have been 4. It should never have gone to VAR. It wasn't a handball. Ouattara deserved that goal, but we'll settle for 3. We'll settle for 3. We'll get a couple in the next match against Luton. Enjoy your evenings, Cherries fans. Signing out. Long may this continue.